Vladimir, and today we're going to talk about mental training tactics. I know that's what you've been waiting for. Yes! Mental training tactics. So let's just get started. Why? Why, you say? Why mental training tactics? Everything we do, almost every single thing we do, is about to improve quality of life. So how do we improve quality of life with mental training tactics? Okay, let's talk about this. Inner and outer quality of life. Let's actually talk about quality of life in general. Like you, how do you judge your quality of life? Quality of life for all of us is the quality of our emotions, how we feel about our lives, how we feel about our past, how we feel about our present, how we feel about where we're heading in the future, how we feel about our jobs, how we feel about our relationships, how we feel about, where we're heading into the future. All those things, that's what determines your quality of life. Okay, outer quality of life. Your outer quality of life affects you emotionally. Why would a person want to win $1 million? That's outer stuff. Why would they want that? Because of how they think it will make them feel. Why do you want a nice car? Why do you want nice clothes? Why do I want a nice big office? Because of how those things will make me feel, how I think they will make me feel. And that's part of life. It's totally fine, just so that we're not totally dependent on those outer things. Because think about this for a second. Why can somebody live in the desert with a tent and one camel and a few other people that live like that and they're totally happy? Why is that? Their mental quality of life. Okay, now we live in a more complicated society, so it's not like we can just go, oh, that's it, we're just going to take off and live in the desert. But anyway, let's just go right into the hardcore meat and potatoes of the workings of your mind and what you can do to improve your quality of life. And I'll share some tactics with you on that. So first we have mindset. So mindset and physiology. So what's mindset? Now this is hardcore neurolinguistic programming, NLP. Mindset. Your belief system. I can do this, I can't do that. I deserve this, I don't deserve that. I believe this is possible, I don't believe this is possible. I believe I could get this good at something, but no further. That over there, I don't believe I could be good at it at all. Now, getting command of your mindset is just a massively beneficial thing. And I mean, I could just do videos on just mindset training. And here's the thing right here. You take mindset training with the meta questions. Okay, you put those two things together and oh, you are making some serious headway. And I mean, you just write these things down that I'm going to tell you. Okay, mindset. You start with one thing that you want to change as far as something that you want to be able to accomplish that you're not accomplishing, or some habit that you want to change, say a bad habit. Hey, like for myself, I started eating a certain way and consistently doing it. But something in the back of my mind made me think, I can't really just stop eating all this and drinking all that. Your mind lies to you. Your mind wants to stay in a status quo. And you have to get into this mindset training to overcome these things. You want to get into this mindset training and hit it with positive, open-ended questions. That's with meta questions. That's one of the parts of the meta model. Where, for an example, this one is awesome right here. Okay, let me jump into this. Every one of us live in the past, the present, and the future at the same time. Like say for me, example. Yeah, I used to box back then. I'm not boxing now, and maybe I won't box ever in the future. Now that's something that's like a complete thought that goes through my head, where that's not necessarily true. I boxed back then. I'm not boxing now, but that's up until now. Okay, there's no reason to project a negative or a can't do in the future. Up until now, I'm not in the ring training and sparring and all that. Up until now. Okay, now that leaves options open for a positive future. And with these open-ended meta questions, we want to gear it so it's always heading towards something that you want. I'm working with a person to stop drinking alcohol. And he's like, yeah, I'm a drinker. You know, I drink a lot. Now, look at those words. I'm a drinker. That's an identity statement. I'm a drinker. That means in the past he's been drinking a lot, in the present he's drinking a lot, and he's projecting into the future that he's drinking a lot. And it's like, First we change that. I have been a drinker. Up until now. Up until now. Just that right there. It leaves it open for the future. Up until now I've been a heavy drinker. But now in the future I can make some new choices. Alright, I'm going to stop right there with that. Okay. So you got to get a dose on mindset. So, and as you know, you can book appointments with me. If you live in Madison, Wisconsin, then you can come and see me here in my office unless you're willing to travel. Otherwise, you can get me on Facebook and we can do a video appointment, and that's not a problem at all. I have some clients like that. We can get right on Facebook or we can get on Skype. Okay. Please like and comment on this video. So we got mindset. Now we're going to physiology, and I have been talking about that in some of my previous videos. If you haven't seen them, please go back and watch some of those. Physiology, now what is that? That has to do with altering your emotions, controlling your emotions, directing your emotions in response to external and internal stimuli. Something happens at work, a relative says this, and we're talking about the negatives now, because we don't need help with digesting the positives. So something happens out there, whatever, and what can you do with yourself, your body, your mind, to get yourself into an emotional state that you want to be in so that you are not absolutely controlled by these circumstances. Okay? So external things happen, internal things happen. You have a bad memory about a past annoying or bad event, like my head. Sometimes I have these fake arguments, or fake negative anticipations of something coming up, and I have to go, wait a minute, no. I have to stop that and start putting in some positive ones, or using some other type of strategy, some kind of tactic to change that around. Look at some of my past videos and you'll see about some of that. So that's what physiology is about. Controlling your emotions, directing your emotions. Alright. Now I talked about this in the last video. Direct commands, not asking. That's a very, very important thing. When you really dive into mental training, you have to realize that you're not asking your mind to do it. Okay, you are directing yourself to do it. Like in my last video, I talked about exercising, and you're not asking, you are doing it, you are commanding your body to do this. And it's exactly the same with your mind. Now, this is something that I see with a lot of clients, and I've seen it with myself. We work on a new tactic, a new training with the mind, and I can see it on their face, and I ask them questions after we do it, and I ask them, are you analyzing it? Are you trying to see if it's working? Is this working? Are my emotions changing? How long is this going to take? Am I doing this right? You just get totally out of that analytical stuff. You just want to just completely get out of that and just let yourself be immersed into the training with focus, almost like a child. Actually, that takes us right into one of the categories I'm going to talk here. But just to touch on it again, you have to really understand that you are not asking from your mind. When I do a bicep curl, I'm doing a bicep curl, and that's it. And it gets a little tired, and you fight through it. Okay, it's same with mental training. Okay, just like a muscle, it gets tense and doesn't like it, and there's some resistance there. Same with your mind. You get into this mental training, you're doing something different, your mind goes, hey, what is this? This is dumb. This is stupid. That may work for him, but not for you. Your mind just starts coming up with these things to try and stop you. It wants to stick with its status quo and not change and grow and do these new things. So you have to stick with the training exercise and do it. Just like if you're running and, oh, I haven't run before, and you're tired, maybe get a little cramp, you just have to ease into it. Keep running through it and staying steady and going through it. It's exactly the same with your mind. So, this is massively, massively important. Now, I talked to somebody about this, and they're like, you can't put that on a YouTube video. They need to pay you for that. This is top secret. It's not top secret, but it is really good stuff. This is exceptionally good, in my opinion, and some of my clients. Write me a comment. You tell me. Okay. Now, really get into this, and I'll do my best to not be too super complicated on this. Okay. I have the warrior, the child, and the master, all wrapped into one thing. Now that is complicated, because we're taking 3 characters and putting them into one. Now I can tell this with my own phase of training, I can tell it with other people's phase of training, not only in the mental training phase, but also in the martial arts. The more you listen to me, the more you're going to hear me talk about martial arts, because it is absolutely infused into everything that I do, because I've done martial arts for a lifetime. And martial arts philosophies and tactics and strategies are absolutely parallel to mental training. Okay, so we have the warrior, the child, the master. The warrior is the base of your training, and the reason is the warrior. I mean a real one. I don't mean just fooling around. A real warrior is willing to be hurt. The real warrior is willing to expose himself or herself to danger, knowing that it might be a negative outcome, and she's still going to go in there and do it. He's going to handle his business. She's going to go over here and do what it takes to, stop the threat that's coming at you. So the attitude is massively important when it comes to mental training or martial arts training. Okay, because as far as I'm concerned, they're just one thing. So with mental training, the warrior, you're willing to take some risks. Okay, now there's no risk with this mental training. It's just that your mind tries to trick you and make you feel like, oh, this is really dumb. That's not right. And we're not supposed to be thinking this way, or we're not supposed to, feel good because of this, blah, blah, blah. All these stupid things. So the warrior is willing to stick through. Stick through thick and thin. The warrior is right there and is gonna handle this thing and keep sticking with it, unafraid. Okay, the child. I know that's quite a jump. The warrior and the child. The child mind can help you as far as like just the warrior. I hope this isn't confusing you. Okay, just stick with me. Okay, you got the warrior, hardcore, tough. The child is playful, non-analytical. That's what we want from the childlike mind. Whenever you see children play, whatever they're playing, knights, and they're playing cowboys, and they're doing all this action stuff, they are fully immersed into that character without the analytical process jumping in. They're in full immersion, and I mean they are into it, just having fun, totally focused, totally immersed. And the main thing, again, is to not be analytical. So you're training with me and you're doing these certain moves that represent certain things, imagining certain things, making certain sounds to get you into this full immersion. And the number one thing is, while you're doing it, besides just being focused, is to not allow your mind to go, well, geez, is this working? Is this how I'm supposed to feel? Is this right? Am I doing it wrong? No, you just go with the exercises and you do it. Okay? So that's what the child helps out with. Now, the master. You get into the master character. Well, first of all, most people don't think they can be a master of anything. I've interviewed a lot of people about how they feel about their competency with a lot of things, and they think they're okay, they think they're pretty good, but they don't ever think that they are the master. You must open your mind to the possibility that you can be the master. Once you open your mind to the possibility that you can be the master of something, then those options become available to you. Those options only become available to you until you believe it's possible. So every great martial artist, every great speaker, every great doctor, every great, you name it, any profession, they're masters. They've perfected a technique and they're consistently dishing it out. That's the master, okay? You are the master. You, the one I'm talking to right here, you are the master. The only thing that you need to do is just unlock the mind and understand that, hey, wait, this is possible. I can possibly be the master in this thing or something, okay? Now, once you're able to believe that that's possible, and with training, it happens, okay? All right. So the warrior, the child, and the master, they get combined up into one thing. Obviously, the master comes at the end. That comes after repetition, repetition, repetition to gain high competency in whether mental training or whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. All right. I'm not going to go too long on this one. Martial arts versus mental arts. Basically, they're exactly the same. So say you go into a martial arts school, okay? And say you're doing karate and you start off and you don't have much agility and you're kind of stiff and sore and not sure how to make these moves, and there's a lot of different elements that go into being a great athlete, great martial artist, great dancer, you name it. Strength, there's agility, there's timing, there's speed, athleticism, all these things. In a sense, all of those things happen in the mental arts too. When you get to training your mind, there's things like speed, there is agility, there's timing, there's all these different attributes that you will discover that are there when you really tear into the training. I enjoy doing these videos for you. Contact me through Facebook, Ask Mr. Latimer. Set up an appointment if you like. I would love to help you out with these tactics, and we'll see you soon.